Okay, you know that feeling? You learn a new word, or maybe you see a new car model you like, and then, suddenly, it feels like you see it everywhere. That is not a coincidence. That's the Baader-Meinhof phenomenon. And today, we're not just going to talk about what it is, we're going to tear it apart and rebuild it as a playbook for making your brand feel absolutely ubiquitous. This is how you weaponize a quirk in the human brain for total marketing dominance.
So let's start with the basics. The frequency illusion, which is the more technical term, is that weird feeling where the world seems to suddenly be full of this one thing you just learned about. It feels random, almost magical, but it's not. It's a totally predictable glitch in our perception, and anything that's predictable, well, that can be engineered.
And a quick history lesson just so you know where these names came from. The catchy one, Baader-Meinhof, was actually made up by a guy named Terry Sullivan on an online forum way back in 1994. The more scientific term, frequency illusion, that came later from a Stanford linguist, Arnold Zwicky. We're going to use both, but really, we're focused on how to use it.
All right, here's our game plan. We'll nail down the psychology, then we'll reframe it for marketing strategy. After that, we're diving straight into a hands-on implementation playbook, and we'll wrap up with the critical mistakes you absolutely have to avoid.
So what is actually going on inside our brains to make this happen? It's not magic, believe me. It's a very systematic, two-step process.
First, it all starts with something called selective attention. Now, you've got this part of your brain called the reticular activating system, or RAS. Think of it like a bouncer at a club. It's constantly filtering out boring, irrelevant noise. But when you learn something new that you find interesting, the RAS flags it as important. It tells the bouncer, hey, let that one in. That's step one. Then step two kicks in. Confirmation bias. Your brain now goes on the hunt, actively looking for more examples of this new thing to prove to itself that yes, this is important. It's a powerful 1-2 punch.
Okay, and this is where we make the pivot. For a top-level strategist, this isn't some random thing you just watch happen. It's a mechanism that you learn to control. And this classic line from Al Ries and Jack Trout just nails it, doesn't it? Marketing is not a battle of products, it's a battle of perceptions. We aren't just selling a thing, we are literally building the customer's reality around that thing. So here's how the best of the best see it. You aren't just getting lucky. You are strategically flipping a switch inside the customer's brain, their built-in pattern recognition system. You prime them with that first touch point, and then you very intentionally place the next few encounters where they're sure to see them. You're not hoping they notice you. You're making your brand an unmissable pattern. What this means is we have to ditch the old linear sales funnels. That's the old way. The new way is all about what we call re-encounter loops. See, customers are always learning across all kinds of platforms. Your job isn't to shove them down one single path. It's to make sure they keep bumping into your brand over and over again, building this gut feeling, this intuition that you're the real deal. Now, the technical name for this whole strategy is Answer Engine Optimization, or AEO. Think of it as SEO on steroids. It's the art and science of making sure your brand is the answer everywhere a customer might look. Google, sure, but also AI chatbots, Reddit threads, forums, you name it. When you're in all those places at once, you create this manufactured consensus that kicks the frequency illusion into high gear. All right, let's get tactical. Enough theory. Here is the actual playbook for engineering that feeling of being everywhere at once. And the payoff for doing this right, it's huge. Like Matt Johnson says, having a great brand means you get to play the game of marketing in easy mode. This playbook is exactly how you build that perception. Okay, this table is gold. Let's walk through it. First up, contextual targeting. You put your ads next to relevant content. This creates alignment, and studies show it leads to 70% higher recall. Easy win. Next, the multi-channel loop. You take one piece of content and you repurpose it into a dozen different formats so it feels like your brand is following them everywhere. Then you have high-frequency cues. The sweet spot is about 4 to 6 impressions a week. That's how you go from being background noise to a meaningful signal. And finally, entity linking. This is a bit more advanced, but it's basically teaching AI to connect your brand with key ideas, creating that automatic sense of authority. So what can you do like today? 4 things. First, optimize your content so AI can easily grab it and reuse it. Second, fragment your message. Turn one big blog post into 10 tweets, 3 short videos, and a carousel post. Third, seed the consensus. Be ridiculously consistent with your branding. And fourth, leverage microgeography. You don't have to be famous everywhere. Just dominate one tiny niche, and in that world, you'll look like a giant.
Let's make this super concrete. I'm going to walk you through what the AEO ubiquity strategy looks like in the real world, step by step.
So it all starts with a search. Picture a dentist. She needs a new CRM system for her practice. She's not just going to check one place, right? She's going to Google best CRM for dentists, she's going to ask ChatGPT, and she's probably going to check a professional forum she trusts.
Now, here's where the strategy kicks in. A really smart startup has already put high-value, genuinely helpful answers in all three of those places. Now, the dentist doesn't know it's a coordinated campaign. All she sees is the same helpful brand name popping up again and again and again.
So what happens next? This is the crucial part. The dentist does not think, wow, what great marketing. No. She thinks, wow, this startup must be the new rising industry standard. They're everywhere. Her brain's pattern recognition system does the work for you. The illusion is triggered, and that leads directly to a very motivated, high-intent lead.
But, and this is a big but, this is a high-stakes game. If you do this badly, you can actually do more harm than good. So let's talk about the critical mistakes that will absolutely shatter the illusion. You really have to watch out for 3 big traps. First is ad fatigue. Just showing the same ad over and over isn't smart. It's just annoying. Second, inconsistent branding. If you use different logos, different messaging, you break the pattern before it can even form. The brain can't connect the dots. And third, and maybe most important, is irrelevant noise. If your content doesn't actually provide value, the brain will eventually just tag you as spam and filter you out completely. And this quote from Brian Tracy really brings it all home. To make this work, every single touch point matters. Everything counts. Nothing is neutral. When you are building perception, every little detail either helps you create that illusion of being everywhere, or it actively works against you. There is no in between.